Okay. I grew up. An evangelical with a lot of fundamentalist friends, I guess, acquaintances, and I went to a Christian evangelical college in Kentucky. So you can imagine what that was like. After time in the Army, I went to seminary and became a minister. So, how does a minister become an atheist? I like teaching the Bible. I was really into the Bible. And I study the Bible. And I've looked at people who say they study the Bible. And I'm wondering, that's not a Bible study. What are you doing? People who read the Bible a lot, they call it Bible study. I actually studied the Bible. And I came up with, here and there, I'd come up with things that, weren't quite true. Some errors in the Bible. I overlooked them because of the whole weight of the Bible compared to these little points of error didn't amount to much. So, but these little points of error kept adding up, and over time, finally, I had to admit the Bible was so full of error and so untrue about almost everything. I couldn't overlook it anymore. And my whole ministry in the church was based on the Bible. So, when I realized that there's hardly anything in the Bible that's true, and plus I was having to answer all these questions from parishioners and reconciling God's behavior in the Bible and the errors in the Bible and trying to make sense of them and keep true to the Bible, I just couldn't do it anymore. I finally had to admit the Bible was worthless, and that was the foundation of my ministry. And so I pulled out of the church, and I questioned the validity of faith, and I started questioning the validity of belief in God, because I was realizing that there is no reason to believe in God. I couldn't think of any reason to believe in God. Now, if I wanted to feel good, sure. Belief in God makes me feel good. Makes everyone feel good. A nice, warm, toasty feeling, knowing that someone is out there looking over you, and someone's going to take you home to a mansion in heaven when you die. Oh, that makes you feel good. And when you have that good feeling, you become passionate about God. And that passion fuels the happiness in your life. It makes you get up in the morning. But I'm not one of these guys who believes that just because something makes you feel good, oh, that makes it right. Because it doesn't. A lot of things make you feel good, but they're not necessarily true or right. So, I just accepted the fact that belief in God was untenable because there was no reason. Beyond the emotional reason, there's no rational reason to believe in God. It's just a thing people choose to do because it makes them feel good. It gives them some kind of hope. Religion does a lot of things. Belief in God does a lot of things for people if they choose for it to do those things for them. I do know people who believe in God who are quite miserable, unhappy with their lives. So I don't know, what to do with those kind of people. But my opinion is, now I've always said this, that there's this levels of atheism. I don't know about that, but I accept that there may very well be a God of some kind, something you could call God. But if this God exists, why doesn't it reveal itself? Why doesn't it reveal its presence conclusively? So far, everything that exists can be explained naturally, to a point. To a point. Now, where did the universe come from, or why did the universe come? Those are profound questions, deep questions. Now, I'm not one to say, "Oh, God did it." Well, maybe God did it, but until we have proof, there's no reason to believe God did it. You can choose to believe God did it, but I don't understand these people who can extrapolate from a creator. They can build the systematic theology down to the last detail of our lives. That's craziness. Okay, except sure, there's a creator. All right, except there's a creator. Fine, that's good. But how from that can you get a systematic theology out of that? Especially considering how erroneous the Bible is. You can't use the Bible as a guide for anything. Anyway, that's how a minister becomes an atheist. There it is.